Hey, glad to see you here on the Disgruntled Mechanic channel. This is Mike, the Disgruntled Mechanic. What I'm doing today is going to go over a little bit of a mishap that I had. And with the mishap, it actually inspired me to buy a new tool, which I don't need any inspiration, but I did anyhow. So we will show you what happened with the old tool, and then we'll get to the new tool, and I think you will like this. So what we have here is my old reliable Snap-on Super 530. Well, I guess you could say it used to be reliable. Snap-on 530. And what happened to me is the timer here apparently stuck. It's an old manual timer. Oh, don't do that. It's an old manual timer, and probably just from sitting in my garage because of the moisture and everything out here, it just sort of froze up. So that's what happened. This is the piece of equipment that I had a problem with, and I will actually tell you what happened, and then we'll go to the piece of new equipment. On one of my other videos, somebody told me I talked too much, but I gotta explain this, I feel. So what happened was I brought in this old car to do some work on, and it had a battery in from another car. The battery tends to go dead. It's good enough for what I want because I just kept charging it and no problem. Now, first off, was what happened is, putting it on the timer, normally what I do is I'll make sure I take it off of timer, because believe it or not, this happened once before. When it happened before, I actually thought that I had left it on hold rather than on the timer, so I kept using it. I used it on the timer this time. When we were leaving to go somewhere, I was going to come back out in the garage, and I was actually going to make sure I shut it off before we left because I didn't trust it. Well, lo and behold, I forgot. When we got home and we pulled in the driveway close to the garage, I smelt an acidic smell like rotten eggs, and I wasn't too sure what it was. Well, from having gone through this before, as soon as I realized I left the battery charger on, I pretty much had an idea what happened. I figured it stuck, and that was what happened, and caused all kinds of good gases here in the garage, which took a while to get out. I put an interim fix on the old Snap-on that I had the problem with, but just in case, I figured it would be a good idea to upgrade and buy another one, because that Snap-on is probably 20 years old, at least, maybe slightly older. So I'm going to show you what I did, and you can probably see it in the background here. All I did was I bought a wall timer. I don't know how well it's going to work. I haven't used it, but it's an electronic wall timer. It may be worse than the manual one, but when I'm around the house here, I'm going to try it and see how it works. I think they're pretty dependable. So that was the solution for that one, but just in case, I figured it was time to upgrade and go to something else, and we'll do that now. So this is what I bought. I bought the OTC 700A Alpha, and I've been looking at these for quite a while now on some of the other channels, SMA, South Main Auto, Erico, and Keith recommends this, especially if you're going to do flash programming. So I bought it just in case I want to do that someday. Who knows? But here's the setup on it. It gives you the instructions. The panel on this to actually work this is pretty similar to the Snap-on I have at work. OTC probably makes it for Snap-on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up to the battery over here, positive, to positive, negative to negative, of course. And then we'll come back and we'll set this up and we'll do our first charge on a battery with the new OTC 700A. And once again, disclaimer, I bought this with my own money. OTC isn't doing anything for me. It's a brand that I like because I do have other tools of theirs. I've been buying OTC for well over 25 years. But now with that said, let's hook it up and we'll set it up for what we have, and we'll go through the steps to do that. So I got it hooked up to the battery, black to negative, red to positive, of course. And the last thing I always do is plug into the 110 outlet. So let's do that. Alrighty, so she fired up. I'm thinking you can see that. It says we got 12.5 volts, but the thing has a real tough time cranking over right now. And that is the battery, just so you know. That is the one I cooked over. I put water back in it. I am not sure how this thing is going to last, but we're going to give it a try. We'll see if we can bring it back to life, because it did work good, and it would take a charge before the incident. And to me, it's a good testament to see what a battery can take. So now that we have it on, it's a pretty simple setup. You're going to display volts. I'm going to go to automatic charge, standard. I'm going to go to 20 amps, and then I'm just going to hit the start. And that should start it charging, which it did. The charge light came on. Now, of course, there's other things you can do with this. What you can do, I'm assuming, I didn't look through, I wanted to use it to get the battery charged, so I didn't actually look through the instructions. But if it's like the snap-on at work, you can actually set it for a timed charge if you want, rather than do that. So, all right. So that's what we're doing. We're charging this up now, and it should be on. And with that, you have your mode. You have manual charge, which would be your time. You have flash reprogram. So the other thing is, then you have your battery type, which is regular, deep cycle, and all AGM. And you also have regulars and deep cycles gel cell. So, and then of course, like I showed you, the charge rate. So we got it charging. You can see it going up. We're going to charge the battery. We'll see how it works. Hope that this one turns off and doesn't cause an incident like I had earlier. But there you go. Not that I need an excuse to buy tools, but I had one there, I felt, just to get this charger that I wanted. Now, I do know as a fact, when I bought that snap-on charger off the truck many years ago, that was over $500. I got this one, and that's the other thing. Depending on where you go, the prices vary on these. The cheapest place I found was eBay. Tooltopia is the seller. It was $438. Amazon, they're $500 and some dollars. And Tooltopia's own website, they were $500 and some dollars. So I went to eBay on Tooltopia's there, and that's where I bought it. So we'll see how it works, and I'll let you know. But anyhow, this is Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic, just saying, remember, if you can get somebody else to do it, you're probably better off. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See ya.
Oh, you dirty, rotten bolt! How could you break off? You dirty, rotten mother! Oh, dirty, rotten! How dare you break? Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Not again! Oh, man alive! Son of a... Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Jesus! No wonder I'm the disgruntled mechanic!